Hi, my name's Anthony Hines. For the last 40 plus years, I've worked in various large companies and I've tried to help people with their um, career development as well as try to help the unemployed. Okay. Today, I want to keep it real basic. I want to give you some tips to really help you with your confidence. Confidence is key because when no one's around and no one's there to support you, it's very easy to lose your confidence. So, I want to I want you to think about all of the things you've done in previous jobs that were really great. And I'm sure everybody has stories like that. Everybody can remember them right off the top of your head. Well, the fact of the matter is if you've done that once, why can't you do it again? Right? I keep saying the same thing a lot of times in a lot of my podcasts. I say if you've already done it once, there's no reason you can't do it again, right? I always say that unemployment is just like you being a spider and somebody has walked into your spider web and kicked it. So all you got to do is rebuild your spider web, right? And who's to say that the next job you get is not going to be the best job of your life? All right. Of course, when you're unemployed, you never see it that way because you just want you just want this madness and this this nightmare to end. Of course, that's true. But if you stay confident, if you believe in yourself, there's no reason you can't get a better job. There's no reason you can't do even better than your last company, right? So, first thing you got to do is you got to ask yourself, what can I do better in my next position? What am I going to take? What am I going to move? What am I going to be better at? Am I going to take advantage of education? Am I going to maybe network a little more in the company? Am I going to do things within the other aspects, like say get involved in the community work to meet a lot of people in the workplace? Am I gonna do that a little more instead of just sticking to my job? Are these things that I'm gonna do the next time I'm gonna get a job? Keep that in mind because you know what? If somebody ever asks you what what you're going to do a little bit better, you're going to have those answers and you're going to be confident in those answers. All right? You're going to be ready. So remember, every job that you leave, you should always have a takeaway of what you can do better the next time. As I've said before, and I'll say it again, in a lot of the jobs that I used to have, I was Tony. Now I'm Anthony. Why? It's a rebranding. Okay, it's a rebranding. So confidence, part of that sometimes can be a rebranding of who you are. Okay? So the fact of the matter is, where can you be better about you regarding your mental aspect and your confidence? All right? Now, if you're networking with people and if you're talking with people and if you're doing informational interviews we've said in the past, if you're doing informational interviews, what are you doing? You're practicing. Remember, some of the greatest athletes, people think that they're exceedingly confident. Well, that's part of it, but they've also practiced and practiced and practiced. How well are you practicing your interviewing skills? How well are you practicing your networking skills? How well are you practicing your 30-second message? How well are you practicing about how good you're going to be? Instead of worry, practice. Okay? Practice makes perfect. Practice gives you confidence because once you get strong at what you're doing, it's only a matter of time, right? Now, another thing to keep you confident. This game is about volume. Absolutely about volume. You get a lot of opportunities. You're only looking for one job. So the fact of the matter is, you want to build on your volume, okay? And you want to build so that you have more than one thing going. So you say, oh, yeah, right, Anthony. That sounds real easy. How do you do that? Well, first of all, how many job alerts do you have set up with companies? You should. Everybody talks about them, but do you have them all set up with all the companies you want to be at? How about this? Have you gone to LinkedIn, looked on company pages, and seen if you are connected to people that maybe even a second level connection that you can use one of your current connections to work to get introduced to once you apply to a company? Have you looked at the company pages to do that to try to get an introduction within one of your friends? I do it all the time. I do it all the time for people. If you're connected to me, so many people email me and they say, Anthony, can you introduce me to John at this company? Of course I can. Why wouldn't I do that? Because the fact of the matter is, it's going to be a possibility to help you get your next job, right? But you're going to be confident if you know someone in the company. You're going to be confident if you know how you're going to be and the like, right? So so think about this. Work after you apply to get introduced to people within the company, either through a current connection or even myself, if I'm connected to people in the, I'll be glad to do it for you. Next thing, when you go to your interview, okay, instead of being nervous, engage in a conversation with the receptionist. I want you to start talking to receptionists every time you interview. Remember, I've always said the hiring manager comes out after the interview and asks the receptionist what they think of the person in many cases. Why? Because everybody walks by the receptionist every day. So they know the receptionist. The receptionist has a great idea of the company, a great idea of what's going on. And instead of worrying about your interview, you know what? Engage in a conversation with the receptionist. Now you're going to be relaxed and you're going to be confident, right? So make sure you do that. How about music? How about, do you listen to your favorite music before you go into an interview? That's going to settle you down. That's going to help you to be confident. You should do that. I don't care what your favorite song is or what your favorite group is. That's your business. I'm saying is your business is your music, and it's going to help you to stay relaxed before you go in the interview. Remember, a relaxed interview is a better interview. So that way they get the real you and not the person you think they want. Forget about all that mindlessness about giving answers you think people want. The reality is they're going to hire you. So be true to yourself. Every aspect, a part of your building confidence is being true to yourself and being okay with yourself and not questioning yourself. You are part of your own solution. You are not part of your own problem. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has things they can improve on, but that's on you to do. Nobody else. There's no time and no value in beating yourself up being in this situation. That is horrible. There's no need to do that. Instead of you beating yourself up, plan to get out of it. Instead of beating yourself up, go exercise, go swim, go do something that's going to really help you physically, mentally. Do something, because when you start working against yourself, you're beaten. So instead of being beaten, work to remain confident and believe in yourself. Okay. Now, another thing you want to do is be around people that you've been successful with. Okay? If there are people that you know that have a lot of support for you and a lot of success and a lot of confidence in you, try to search them out. Maybe even not for a job, but to help you stay confident, because that is so key in you being able to get through this, because confidence is something you can control at all times. All right? So think about going out, talking to people that you've had great experiences with so they can reinforce how great you are. Because sometimes, though, people try very hard to remain confident. It's very hard to do. And you need other people to help you. So go to the people that you've had great success with, or good projects with, or you've done, maybe done some charity work with, and sit with them and talk with them, and because that's going to help you to stay confident. You never know when a hiring manager is going to call you, or some company's going to call you. And the fact of the matter is, not only do you keep those jobs listed and what they are right near the telephone, but you have to have a mind that's working for you at all times. Because if someone calls you out of the blue and gets a really confident you, how are you going to impress them anymore? Think about that. It's going to be really good because you're going to be impressing these people because you're confident out of the blue. Sometimes people do that because they haven't planned the day right. Other times they do it on purpose. Other times they take phone calls and interviews just to see how you're going to react. I always tell people, hey, go ahead. You're here, you're working, take the phone call. I want someone to feel confident enough that I know when I'm going to be able to talk about, that I'm not going to be off my game with something like a phone call that I'm going to get a million of in my job. My point is, no matter what the curveball or the different situation is that somebody throws at me, I'm ready. And I'm going to stay confident in the respect that that's what a hiring manager wants to see. Somebody who's confident in themselves. Okay. Now you have a situation sometimes where nothing's working, and it's really tough. Nothing's working. Okay. Here's a few things to do. Your LinkedIn job app. Do you have that? Have you joined that? Number two, are you um, w- w- talking and networking with people that are currently working? Number three, are you did as I said before, are the job alerts set up for all your companies that you want to work for? Next, have you volunteered as much as you can, especially in the industry that you'd love to be in? Have you volunteered? Next, have you got involved in charities in your community to take up time to make you feel satisfied and confident in yourself because you're doing something to help somebody less fortunate? And let me tell you, when you see the poor people that you're helping, you realize you're not that bad off. That's another part of confidence, realizing that you've got a lot and have done a lot of great things and have a lot of great things in your life versus people that have less and are less fortunate than you. Think about that. That's another way to build your confidence, right? Next, have you gone back over some of your old positions, some of the old recruiters that you've dealt with, that you've interviewed and haven't been accepted for the job? Have you checked in with them to see if there's other positions in the company that might work for you? Again, you might get things in your old company, or you might get things in your in some of the jobs you applied for that you may think that just because you didn't get that one job, there's many jobs that happen all the times in companies. So you always want to leave it with companies that you've interviewed with, that if you don't get the job that you're currently applying for, that you'd love to be interested, or you'd love to apply for other jobs. Again, do you have that communication with all the people you've dealt with? This is a matrix, people. It's not a single communication. It's a matrix. You've got to be involved with and communicating with multiple people all the time. Because remember, you're only looking for one job. Okay? Next, by staying in balance with your diet, your exercise, your mental aspect, and doing things for you, you're going to remain balanced, and that's going to help to build your confidence as well. So make sure you do that. And now for something you don't want to do, you don't want to feel sorry for yourself and believe it's never going to end. Although it's very tough, and I will tell you 100 times, it's very tough. If you work and you try and you make inroads yourself and make effort yourself and don't wait for things to come to you, you're in a very good mindset and you're going to make it work for you. You're going to make it happen. You're going to make it work. Your confidence is going to make it come to you because the fact is, the more you try and the effort you put into it, the better it's going to look for you in all aspects of this because you never know where that job's going to come from. So you don't give up on yourself, replace that. And let me tell you, it's not easy to do. Replace that feeling of pity or giving up with what can I do next? That's what I told myself all the time. What can I do next? What else can I try? What else can I do? You see that in all my documents that I have on script. I give you just a ton of try this, try this, try this, try this. Because you know what? That's what you want. You don't want long stories about once upon a time fairy tales. You want try this, try this, try this. So join my LinkedIn group. Um, like my Facebook page to get links to articles. Check the About section of my Facebook page. Look for the checklist. Go to my profile. Go get my job search checklist on my profile on LinkedIn. Join my group and get all those tips because once you have those tips, you're not going to have time to feel bad for yourself. So my LinkedIn group is the Anthony Hines Job Search and Career Help Now group. YouTube, Job Search and Career Help Now. Facebook page, Anthony Hines Job Search and Career Help Now. Follow me on Twitter, Anthony_V_Hines. And listen to all of these Podbean podcasts. I have hundreds of people that are following me now. Hundreds. I started with 0. I have hundreds. Why? Because I keep pumping out these podcasts. And why do I do it? Because unemployment is tough. It's really tough to get through. And I want to end unemployment one person at a time. Remember, everyone, your career is your responsibility. So confidence starts with you. Have a great day. Bye now.